Do you know what we're going to do first? Because we're doing just chatting. What we're going to do first.
This chief.
Oh. What we're going to do first is Jmainia Animations. Just released a new animation, and maybe we should watch it. Maybe we should watch it. What do you think? Do you guys think we should watch it? Do you think we should watch the new animation that Jmainia Animations did? Okay. All right, we'll watch that.
This chief, the one that I had to bring a different beret for, and the one that I had to constantly make sure my boots were polished for, that one was the same one that I got sent to anger management for because I told him that he was a fuckhead and he would be dead and gone before he would get any of the cabinets that I had. I had done my on-the-job
How old is this video?
Gone
I forget how old or how long ago I recorded this.
Had decided to send me to a Ford support company. The way a Ford support company worked is now, instead of having all of this expertise that you can pull from a whole shop filled with mechanics or a whole shop filled with armors, you now have one armor. Private First Class Zach. you were in charge.
That looked like the intro to Shrek. Some body. Okay.
Now have one armor. Private First Class Zach. You were in charge of everything. Who has spent 3 weeks as on-the-job training. I had no idea how to fill out the...
Oh, it was 2019
forms.
when I recorded it. Okay.
I knew how to fix guns. I didn't know how to fill out forms. I didn't know how to get things. I didn't know what kind of parts I was going to need to order. Okay. And they basically went, figure it out. So when I got to the company that I was in, immediately there are unit armors coming to me and saying, I need this fixed, I need this fixed, I need this fixed.
Rubik's Cube.
24 M4s that need to be gauged. I have all these things that are broken, and I need this fixed. And I'm like, cool, I don't have any parts, I don't have any gauges, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I'm inside this brick building. I had to go through every manual for every weapon that was used by the 6 infantry companies I'm supposed to support. I came up with this massive, and it took me months. I came up with a massive list of parts that I was going to need in quantities of things. I ordered all those parts, and then the parts
don't know if I ever saw Baloney Bob playing video games.
Plastic envelopes.
I like the...
And then the parts got to me in cardboard boxes.
This is funny. I like the soy jack pointing.
In plastic envelopes. I didn't go to college. Yes, I went into the military. So I have no idea how to organize a whole part system. Anytime someone's like, oh, Zach's so dumb, I'm just like, you have no idea the amount of fucking work I have. That's one of the reasons I'm so lazy now. I love that I was drinking liquid death there. Everything into doing this stuff while I was in the military. It's one of the reasons I started smoking and having really bad anxiety attacks. I don't have PTSD from being in Iraq. I have PTSD from being at Fort Polk and having to run a Ford support company by myself. In any other unit, the job I was in would have been a warrant officer position. I was an E3. I was like,
I don't know, I guess I can fix these guns for you, but I mean, really, you're supposed to do this paperwork.
And then eventually it got to a point where I was just big, bad, angry Zach, where I was just like, no, you can go fuck yourself, Sergeant. I'm not fixing any of your shit.
I love how he draws Fort Polk. He does a really good job.
I got all these parts ordered. They sent a bunch of the wrong ones. I got so frustrated with having to dig through these cardboard boxes. I'm like, fine, I need cabinets. I ordered these cabinets. Cabinets get sent to the wrong company. Cool, all right, well, I have to go get these cabinets now. So I go to sign on a 5-ton truck so that I can go pick up these cabinets.
All right.
There's no 5 tons available. What do you mean there's no 5 tons available? There's like 25 tons sitting out there. Nope, we don't have a single one that you can drive. Besides, do you even have a permit to drive that? Of course I do. My shop is on the back of one. Why don't you just use the truck that...
The chief that took your cabinets always infuriates me for some weird reason. Yeah, he infuriated me too. I wonder why.
Your shop is on. I can't do that because the shop weighs 7.5 tons and the cabinets don't fit in the door of the shop that's on the back of the truck. Well, we don't have any trucks for you to use. Fine. So I walk a mile down to Bravo. They have a truck. Hooray! Thank you. Thank you.
Like I turned into Rambo there for
I find someone with a forklift to pick up the cabinets and put them in the bed of the truck. I drive the truck back to my motor pool. We don't have a forklift. Now the cabinets have to come off the truck. I had to get like 20 people to help me pick up these cabinets and put them on the ground outside of my shop. Now I have to figure out how to get them in my shop. They don't fit in the door.
No!
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. They fit in the door, but only if I take all of the drawers out.
Okay.
To lighten them up somewhat.
That's better anyway, because you're gonna move the cabinet anyway. Why not take out the drawer?
Why not drive the whole ass shop to Bravo? Because that was. I'll explain the differences. I'll explain the differences at the end of the video. So stick around. I will explain the difference between my shop and the mobile shop at the end of the video.
Take out all the drawers, get the cabinets put in my shop. They got nice little drawers in them, and I can put little things. If I needed a part, I could look at the list that I had made on my own personal computer.
Hi, Clippy.
On Excel, on the massive 300+ page document that listed what the NSN
Hi,
for the part
Clippy.
was, what the name for the part was, how many
Why
of
does
them
Fort
I
Polk
had,
look like
and
one
what
of
drawer and
Miyazaki's
slot they
Poison
were in.
Swamps?
This
Because it
great.
is.
I finally have organization
It
for all my
is.
parts.
It only took you 4 weeks to get this set up.
2 months, and then probably another 3 weeks after that, getting all the parts put into all the bins and organized by like size and what weapon system they go to. Top drawers for M9 parts, second drawers for M4 parts, next drawers for M4 parts, drawer after that is M16 and 249 parts. I finally have my full bench stock list on a computer. Everything is available. Someone can come in and say, hey, the spring broke for my M16. And before they're finished with the sentence,
look,
I can
another
say,
resubscriber.
excellent, I have 6 of them.
Thank
Here's
you very
your
much,
parts.
Crasher, for the
Here, here, here.
18 months
Can't even tell
of
you how
no,
happy
the
I was with the setup. And then
14
Chief
months?
came
14
into my
months. Thank you
shop
very much.
and looked lustfully at my cabinets. And his heart, yea, it was filled with avarice.
Avarice?
Greed. Hey, Hothbeat, open that cabinet. Yes, they are, Chief. It took me a long time to get them. I remember.
He
I put
turns
the
into
order
Mike
in.
Tyson.
Yeah, it took me a long time to finally get these in here. Those are really not cabinets, Hothbeat. I think I'm gonna need them. No, Chief, I just ordered these cabinets.
This okay. If you haven't seen the movie Office Space, so much of my job felt like I was just Milton from Office Space. So much of my job felt like I was just Milton from Office Space.
Have all my parts in them. Hothbeat, I'm gonna need them cabinets to put Humvee parts in. The Humvee parts aren't gonna fit in there. So
Fucking Lumberg. Lumberg. You know what's really funny? If you guys have you ever seen? I'm sorry for pausing, but have you ever seen the TV show Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law? The person that does the voice of Harvey Birdman is the person that played Lumberg in Office Space. Same actor. Lumberg is the voice of Harvey Birdman. Yep, 100% true. Lumberg is also Ricky Bobby's dad in the movie Ricky Bobby. That's again, same actor. Gary Cole, yep, that's his name. Gary Cole's a great actor. He's great. I love Gary Cole. Anyway.
it ended up devolving into, from a conversation of, no, Chief, you cannot have these cabinets. I just ordered these. I need them. Into, Chief, you can go fuck yourself, and I'm gonna punch you in the goddamn face if you don't get the fuck out of my shop.
I feel like there might be some fallout from
And he
that.
said, we'll see about that high speed, and walked out. At which point, I grabbed the pencil mount for a 50 caliber machine gun and threw it through a metal wall locker.
Did anybody see you do this violent act?
Yes. My squad leader came to talk to me, and he said, you should not have done what you just did. And I said, oh, gee, no shit, you fucking think? I had to go talk to the company commander. I got chewed out. When I came back, my cabinets were gone, and all my
I've been
parts
chewed
were on
out
the floor
before.
in cardboard boxes.
Of
again.
course,
So
yeah.
I had to order more cabinets. As it turns out, what happened was better than I ever could have imagined. They sent me to anger management. I got to anger management, and sitting in anger management is a staff sergeant, a captain, a lieutenant,
Baloney Bob's
warrant
truck
officer,
bumper. Yeah.
a major, a staff sergeant, a
All
staff
very
sergeant,
high-
a staff sergeant.
These are all very high-ranking members.
These are all people who are much higher ranking than me. And then E4 Zach. So everyone has to talk about why they were there, and it's Well,
The
my name's
hog,
Sergeant
yeah.
So-and-so, and I punched one of my soldiers in the face because he wouldn't stop mouthing off.
Did he have a hog? Yeah, he did.
Reasonable
That was
to me.
that
They
was.
get to
I
me,
love that
I
he
said,
drew like
the
all of
warrant
these different people. So it's the warrant officer that killed the that went and stalked and killed the pig.
there, and it's, well, my name's Sergeant So-and-so, and I punched one of my soldiers in the face because he wouldn't stop mouthing off to me. Seems reasonable to me. They get to me, and I said, my name is E4 Zach. I'm here because I told my chief warrant officer to go fuck himself, and that I thought he was a massive piece of shit. Why is there an E4 in here? While I'm in anger management, someone from my company calls me and asks why I'm not in my shop fixing weapons.
That warrant officer is a badass. Yeah, he fucking
But
was.
I didn't even reply. I just snapped my phone in half. In anger management. This is why I'm here. And I just remember several of these other officers just looking at me like, I understand. I ended up going to anger management for like 4 or 5 months.
When you started off the story, I figured there'd be a happy ending.
Well, on the plus side, though, when I would go to anger management, we would do relaxation techniques and I would get to fall asleep.
Ah.
So sometimes anger management just meant nap time.
Oh boy! I'm glad this story had a happy ending after all.
It did have a happy ending after all. Hang on, I want to go back a little bit.
Nap time.
Oh boy!
Hello, Treasure Panda.
I just want to watch this.
Yeah, we are going. We are moving along, aren't we? Going at a decent clip.
Thank you very much, Bother Sheep, for the 1 month of subscription.
Earlier, I didn't tell you. You had left right before. Yeah, we found the train earlier. It has a manual transmission, which I think I figured out. That's a horrible switch.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Choo 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 choo! Oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault, Treasure Panda. Choo 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 choo! Oh no!
All right. Anyway, I gotta tell you what the difference is between these things. Hang on. Hang on. We're doing stuff. We are doing stuff. We are doing stuff. I gotta get a couple things open. So, I get a lot of people that are like confused about the... Where is this folder? Confused about the difference between my like shop and then the mobile shop, because I get people to ask like how did I store all of those parts in the back of the shop if it was on a truck. And I actually had 2 shops. I had 2 completely separate ones. I had the shop that was in my building, or that was in a building. Where is this? I had the shop that was in a building, and then I had a mobile shop that I would take out onto field exercises that was on the back of a truck. So I can show you. I can show you a couple different things. For all the stress your entire career has caused you, does it It does warm our hearts to see you at least getting some help. We know that many people had it much worse, having clear-cut words from you directly about getting on meds. VA, getting a wife, getting a job you like, gives us hope. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Squiddly Terrence. Thank you so much. Okay, so... this is Fort Polk. Fort Johnson now, technically. My shop was... I'm sure they have actually recently changed everything. So, my shop at the time of the cabinet incident was this building right here. Technically, before that, it was in this building on like a second floor in here. But that was because, like, they had literally set up this company, like, a couple months before I got here. So, like, the office, when I first moved into it, the office, there was literally half the windows were broken. And there was a bird's nest inside the office, and I had to chase a bunch of pigeons out of there.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, Crunchy Oddity, for the 6 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. Eventually, there wasn't enough room. There wasn't enough room in there for me to have my entire office, so I got moved into this building right here, which is just like a small brick building that had 2 separate sections to it. And then later I was over in... This is a different company's motor pool, and later I was over in this building. That was kind of funny that I just ended up moving from, like, this building. It was... I'm trying to remember the order of operations. So I went to here, and then I went from there to the... I think it was this company. Also, thank you very much, Crunchy Oddity, for the 6 months of subscription. What would be a good marksman rifle? I mean, that depends entirely on what platform you want to start with, because, like, you can build really good marksman rifles out of an AR. That's what, like, the Mark 12 is. The Mark 12 is just an accurized AR. Anyway. So yeah, I went from, like, this company to this company to this company. So that was, like, I think that was Fox Company to Bravo, and then back, or then to Echo Company, which was over here. But yeah, my shop was in an actual building where I had, like, workbenches. I had places that I could store guns. It was basically like a, it had, like, effectively an arms room door with a padlock the size of, like, a fucking loaf of bread on the front of it. And then this was the shop that I would drive around in. When I had to go to field exercises, I had this shop, which only had, like, a few drawers in it. I could, you know, store some parts in there. So when we would go out to the field, I would have to look at what company we were going out to there to support. And I would have to bring a, I would have to decide what parts I was going to need to support that company on that field exercise. So, yeah, this was the mobile shop, and then my regular shop was in this building. And I saw someone ask, did they change the name of Fort Polk because of all the negative connotations with it? No, they really don't give a shit about that. They changed the name of Fort Polk because they were changing the name of every army base that was named after a Confederate general. So. Would I just sleep in my shop on mobile field exercises? Sometimes. Sometimes I would. Other times we had, like, big tents that we would sleep in. So other times I would just sleep in those. There's a Pizza Hut there? Yeah, there's a Pizza Hut at Fort Polk. Do I ever think they were sending me to sergeant classes because they saw potential for me to be a Green Beret? No, it doesn't work like that. They were trying to send me to sergeant classes because they needed to promote, they needed to have a certain amount of numbers of people that were being promoted. And it was like, why has Specialist Hazard been an E4 for 2 years? He should be a sergeant by now. Well, his promotion points are too low. Oh, it doesn't matter. We have to send X amount of people to Warrior Leaders Course. So send him to Warrior Leaders Course even though he can't get promoted. It doesn't matter. We got to make numbers, okay? We got to make a certain amount of numbers. We haven't sent X people to Warrior Leaders Course, so send Hazard. And then I would just be like, no, I can't go. I got too many guns to fix. So...
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Also, thank you very much to Jehovah's Thickness for the 3 months of subscription. And thank you to Epix Gamer for the 1 year of subscription. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Derek L27, for the 3 months of subscription. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Any good or funny moments from Fort Polk? I mean, you know, there's like the funny stuff that happens while you're in the army. I can't really think of anything like right now, but there are ones. It's not literally all bad, like all the time. It's just that Fort Polk itself kind of sucks. Kind of really sucks. I don't think of anything funny that happened with like the dudes in my barracks or anything. I'm not sure. I'm sure I can if I like sat down and tried to think about fun stuff that happened. There's a lot of fun stuff that happened. It's like it's not an amazing comparison, but it's kind of like being in college. It's like you're living in the barracks, which are basically like living in dorm rooms. So besides the leadership with the regular people decent, yes and no. There's always outliers, but because it's outside of a military base, you always have fucking scumbags that are just doing whatever they can to rip off every single soldier that lives there because they don't like the military base being there. But, like, the joke's on them, because if the military base wasn't there, they would literally live in the middle of fucking nowhere and they wouldn't have a job. So, whatever. Example of people trying to rip you off. I didn't know much about cars when I still don't. But, like, when I joined the army, I didn't know much about cars. And I had a Ford Focus at the time. I forget which one of my cars that was. Doesn't matter. I had a Ford Focus. Does Fort Polk have a lemon lot? Yeah, that's actually where I bought one of my first cars from, was the lemon lot, and then someone slashed my tires 2 days after I bought it. I think that they slashed my tires not out of maliciousness. I think the person that sold it to me did not tell their girlfriend that they bought a new car, or did not tell their wife that they had sold the car and bought a new one. So when they saw the car parked at the barracks, they immediately assumed, oh my fucking god, he's cheating on me, and went and slashed it. Like, slashed all the tires. I feel like that's probably what happened. Anyway. So I had a, here, you know what I need to do? We need to load this. Give me just a second. We're gonna get this going. There we go. Game capture? Perfect. Okay, so, I had a Ford Focus. This is an example of people who live outside of military bases just fucking with soldiers in any way they possibly can and trying to screw them over as much as possible. I had a Ford Focus, and one of the tires started making weird noise, or one of the wheels started making weird noises. And like the brakes didn't work. So basically, if I wanted to stop, I had to use like I had to shift down and use the parking brake because the it was just making horrible noises. So I go to there's a Ford dealership that's like 10 minutes off base. So I leave. I go to this official Ford dealership. They take my car and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll take good care of you. We'll take real good care of you." They bring my car in the back and they spend like 2 hours fucking with my car. And then they come out and they say that like, "Oh, your rear differential is fucked and it needs to be completely replaced. Your rear drive shafts are completely fucked. Those need to be fixed." Blah 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 blah. All this stuff that needs to be fixed. I don't know shit about cars at the time. So I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I don't have the money to pay for that right now. So I guess I'll just drive back to the barracks because I don't have the money to pay for it right now. I'll come back later when I can afford it." Because they seriously quoted me, like, at the time, $500 to fix my car. I drive it back to the barracks, and I'm telling one of my friends about it, who is a vehicle mechanic, and he just looks at me like I just sprouted a chicken head out of my ear, and then the chicken head started singing the Macarena. And he's like, "You have a Ford Focus. It doesn't have a rear differential. It doesn't have rear drive shafts. That's wishbone suspension in the back of it. Let's go look at your car." We go out to my car, and he's like, "Yeah, bro, your brakes need to be bled. The brake lines need to be bled. That's literally it. That is the only thing that is wrong. You can't stop because your brake lines needed to be bled." That was it. Ford was trying to scam you. It wasn't Ford, it was the dealers. It was the people that work at the dealership because they saw that I was a soldier, so they're gonna try to fuck me over and get as much money as humanly possible. Because, man, fuck all those soldiers on that base over there. They're a bunch of fucking assholes coming out here and fucking up our places and stealing our women and drinking all our beer at our bars. And it's like, you live outside of a military base. This base has been here since the fucking 60s, my guy. Anyway. There is a reason why, if you are at a military base, if you are in the army at a base, your company will have a list of establishments that you're not allowed to go to. Because those establishments will either try to kill you, or take all of your money, or just beat the shit out of you. Yeah, there is a reason why they're like, "Hey, don't go to this place, don't go to this place." Thank God that dude told you what it actually was. Yeah, he was. I was real glad that I had him as a friend, and he was able to help me do so much car stuff. Did any companies I was in have stupid traditions for the FNGs? No, not officially. Not officially. At least none that I can think of. If they tried to make me do any things like that, I basically was just like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't wanna." What's wrong with the American military? It's not the American military. It's the base It's the people in the base outside of the army. They built Fort Polk in 41. Okay. I wasn't sure when it was necessarily built. I knew that they used it in the 60s. Ooh. Loud. Do you guys want to see me attach a bunch of, do you guys want to see me attach a pallet of MREs to the bottom of a Chinook helicopter? In glorious, like, 240p? Do I need to change the category? No, it's fine. I'm doing just chatting. I'm not really playing the game. Look, it's a Chinook helicopter, and I am right there. There is me. Glorious 240p. Recorded on a 2DS? It may as well have been, yeah. How bad was the rotor wash under that flying school bus? Not bad, actually. It wasn't terrible. This pilot, I'm pretty sure this was like the second or third day of that pilot's career. Cameraman is having issues? Yeah, no, like, check this out. This is me. I'm pretty sure this is me shooting this one. Look how much smoother it is! Look how better composed the shot is! I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, though, because goddamn, that's loud. Look how much better composed this shot is. Thank you very much, Xbox Assassin, for the 200 bits. So we were on a field exercise, and our first sergeant had been air assault. Was this me? This might have been me taking this one. Anyway, our first sergeant at the time had been, thank you very much, Dial Corthius, for the 5 gifted subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Our first sergeant at the time had been in air assault previously, and I don't know how, but somehow he coordinated sling loading classes. And he got the 10th, or part of 10th Mountain's helicopter division to show up and practice picking up stuff, which was really, really cool. That we got to learn how to, like, stage stuff to get picked up by Chinooks. The reason I say one of the helicopter pilots, I'm pretty sure it was like their second day flying, was because, like, he seemed very unsure of how to pick up stuff and set it down several times. It was interesting. The other pilot would just come in and just grab it and just take off, like, no problem whatsoever. But he, the second pilot would, like, move around a lot. It's pretty goofy. Thank you very much, Dial Corthius, for the 100 bits. So far, you're enjoying my content. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Gotta start somewhere? Yeah, no, you do. It's like you're not just immediately an amazing helicopter pilot. Chinook are not nearly as loud as Ospreys, but are muted next to a CH-53. Yeah, Ospreys are loud as fuck. Ospreys are incredibly loud. These are all photos I took. Would I ever fly a helicopter if I had the opportunity? I've flown in helicopters several times. It's really cool. I really liked flying in helicopters. I kind of wish I would have entered the army as a helicopter pilot. So this is the second pilot, and the reason I say he seemed kind of like unsure is because, so he's landing here. He landed with his tail, or with his rear wheels on this little hill, so his helicopter touched down and then rolled all the way forward to this position. So here's the first photo. He landed, you can see the hill. The hill is now back here. So he just kind of like ended up rolling forwards, and it was like, if he had moved forward a little bit more, I don't think he was fully aware of where the back of it was. And like I said, you know, it's you got to learn. It's, you know, you got to learn how to do it. I take good photos. Thank you. I was really pleased with these photos. Yeah, Chinook is a really, really cool helicopter. Did I ever interact with an Osprey? I did once. And the interaction I had with the Osprey, I didn't get to go near it. I didn't get to like touch it or anything. But the interaction I had with the Osprey was while I was in Iraq. I was thank you very much, Balkamore, for the 1 year of subscription. Thank you so much, Balkamore. I really appreciate it. Would I ever consider going on sub podcast with Mike if given the opportunity? They have to invite me. They have to invite me onto it. I can't just invite myself onto someone else's podcast. Anyway, I was in Iraq. I was at BIOP. I was waiting to fly out. I forget. Oh, I actually have a video of him like trying to pick up the truck. Okay. So I was waiting to fly out somewhere, and I heard what sounded like a helicopter but way louder, and I was really confused as to what it was. So I like went over to where this big concrete wall was, because we were basically in this area that was like fenced off, but it was fenced off with like 9-foot tall concrete barricades. Because it's like you're in Iraq, right? So you gotta like kind of cordon off every single area. So if a mortar lands in one spot, it doesn't just throw shrapnel for like 200 yards. So I went over to where one of the walls was, and I kind of like shimmy up and look over it, and there was an Osprey there that was getting ready to take off, and I had never seen an Osprey in person before. So I got really excited. I got incredibly excited about the fact that I was seeing an Osprey like firsthand. So I started running around and telling people, "There's an Osprey over there. There's an Osprey. It's so cool." And nobody really gave a shit beyond me. I was kind of the only person that cared. Everyone was just like, "Yeah, so what? What? There's a bird over there. Okay, and no, like the thing. Its rotors go up and they go down. I don't give a shit, man. Oh, okay." I was really excited about seeing the Osprey. I fucking love the Osprey. Careful with that meme. That's an antique. This guy was not happy about being made to do this. He was really not happy about being made to do this. What did he say? He said Leroy Jenkins. Thank you very much, Boba Snappy, for the 1 month of subscription. You know, looking back on it now, actually this makes more sense, because I'm sure the pilot was incredibly frustrated with getting up, no, down, up, down from the crew chief. Just, okay, up, no, down, be scared shitless being under that Chinook. It's a little scary, but like it's more cool than scary. This is me taking this video, by the way. I assume it's really hard to maintain altitude. I don't know on a Chinook. I don't know. I don't know enough about being a pilot to say how difficult it is. So there was actually a decent crosswind, and that's why he started like drifting this way. I don't think he intended to drift this way. I don't know though. I'm not a pilot, so I can't say. I'm not a pilot, so I can't say. Thank you very much, Boba Snappy, for the 1 month of subscription. Thank you so much. Have I had to not nap, but sleep on a military aircraft before? On some of the flights, to and from Iraq, yeah. So, you can see this is the crew chief right here. He's poking his head out of the side of the the helicopter, because he's like guiding them where to go. When you are... Oh, God, I forgot. This was the same day. There was a B-52 flying over on this day. Oh, my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, there was a B-52 flying over when we were doing this whole exercise. Like, low, too. For me to be able to get a photo that clear of it, that was low. Yeah, so when the helicopter is like right overhead, there's this little door right here underneath the helicopter, and there's like there's a hook right there, and there's one right back here. The crew chief can see down through this, so the entire time you're sitting on top of whatever it is that's getting picked up, and the crew chief is looking down at you and like giving you hand motions on what you're supposed to hook onto. It's really cool. So like there's this thing that weighs several tons that is just floating above you. And there's a dude looking down out of it that is telling you where to hook stuff onto with like only hand signals, because you can't hear shit. All you can hear from this thing is just the whole time. It's super cool. This is again one of the most fun things I've ever done in the army, was doing shit like this. Did anyone try to sit in the Jeep when the Chinook took the Jeep somewhere? No, they were very clear on that you were not allowed. Once you hook this thing up, jump off it and run away from it. You are not allowed to be anywhere near the inside of this vehicle once it's hooked up. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool that you see that. It just reminds me of the fucking the like joke of it reminds me of the joke of from a documentary where they're flying over the pyramids, and it's like, these pyramid structures are too complicated to have been built by human hands, says the man talking into a video box that's broadcasting over data air from a giant flying metal wasp. Yeah, definitely too complicated to build a bunch of pointy rocks. Uh-huh. What other photos are in here? I'm gonna keep like going in and out of things because I don't want to like fucking dox myself. Do you guys want to see a photo of the weird shit that happened to my leg? There you go. This wasn't as bad. This wasn't as bad. And they drew around it with a marker so that they could identify it. It's back? No. This was years ago. These are old photos. Those are old photos. Yeah, my whole leg swelled up something fucking terrible in that. I was gonna show you guys these photos. This was them getting the sling loading stuff set up, but I can see a lot of people's names in them, so I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'm not gonna show you these photos. I don't want to fucking... I don't want to dox a bunch of people. I haven't gone through my old army photos in so fucking long.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, Nab2150, for the 10 months of subscription. What's the point of being in the military if you can't share state secrets? I started laughing because I saw this photo and it just reminded me. Dude, bro was passed the fuck out in this Humvee for 2 hours. 2 hours he was passed out in the Humvee, and we were looking for him. We couldn't fucking find him. And then someone went outside and saw him sitting in the Humvee, just sweating buckets into the fucking seat. There is a reason that Humvees just smell like fucking tobacco and ball sweat. Oh my god. That man was dying. I mean, he was fine afterwards, but you know. Oh shit, I forgot about this photo. Hang on. Hang on. This was, okay, so this field exercise, I parked my tree I parked my truck under a walnut tree. And so I just went outside and started picking up walnuts, and I was using my my armorer's tools to crack open walnuts, and was just eating walnuts on this field exercise that I just found from a tree. And I remember I had literally filled up my helmet with walnuts, and I was just sitting under this tree eating, or sitting in my shop just eating walnuts, and one of the sergeants in my company came up and was like, "Hazard, what are you doing? Where did you get those walnuts?" And I was like, "Oh, I got them from that tree right there." He was like, "You can't just eat shit you found lying on the ground." And I'm like, "They're fucking walnuts, my guy. Of course you can just eat walnuts." Yeah, you were asking about fun stuff that happened while I was in the military. That's one of them. True soldier can live off the land. Okay, you can't see his name in this photo. That's fine. Delicious. The delicious dining in the US military. Delicious US military dining. Look, it's got rice on it. I watched your rants and some other early content. You're a great man. You and Mike, you remind me of the chuckles I had at my time under 82nd Airborne under MG Johnson. Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you like watching the videos. Rice. Don't forget the watery eggs. Oh my god, the fucking watery eggs. Oh, the eggs are always like the most watery, runny, disgusting eggs. They're so bad. Explain the watery eggs. So when you're out in the field, they'll bring eggs for breakfast. Sometimes you'll get like eggs in for breakfast, and the eggs they're always scrambled eggs, and they're always either watery as hell, like a shot glass worth of water, or they're super rubbery. It's always one or the other. Yeah, the watery eggs are so bad. Let's see, what other photos can I show you guys? Can you see my name in any of these photos? Do I exclusively use Type 4 cassettes? Oh no, I'll use Type 1. and Type 2. I use 1 or 2. I use whatever I have. Thank you very much, Gillyflower, for contributing $5 towards the depleted uranium cube. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'll just use whatever. I'll use whatever cassette tapes I have. I have a pretty good cassette player. So I'm okay with using whatever cassettes, you know. I only use the Type 4 cassettes on albums I really want to record on the Type 4 though. Had cafeteria eggs like that for a while. Yeah, it's just they're not well cooked. You know. Also, they have like the egg powder, right? They have the egg powder, and then you basically just mix the egg powder with water. Like, have you ever had powdered eggs before? Because you just mix the powder with water and then you cook it on a grill. And then sometimes they would throw like an eggshell in there to make you think that you were getting actual eggs. You never were, though. You never were getting actual eggs. Cassette in car? You either have to... Cassette in car, you either have to have an in-car cassette player, or you have to, you'll have to get a cassette player and have it go through the aux cord, I guess. Okay, I don't have a name tape on any of these photos, so I can show you some of these. All right. Oh, do I listen to cassettes in my car? No, I don't. It's too much of a pain in the ass. There's a thing in the Army, or just the military in general, that's called an MWO, which stands for Modification Work Order. And basically when was this photo taken? Hang on. I lived through Katrina, so eggs from the government suck. Oh man, I feel sorry for you. I mean, I was there too. January 24th, 2007 is when these photos were taken. I was at Fort Polk, so I lived through Katrina too. But yeah, you get real sick of having runny eggs. So there's a thing in the Army and just the military in general that's called Modification Work Order, or MWO. And basically, this was in 2007, so we all still had M16A2s. So we were taking all the M16A2s and upgrading them by adding the Knights Armament rail systems to them. And just doing a bunch of other random repairs to them. So we had a lot of M16s we were going through. There's a Mark 19 right there for pretty much no reason. That's a really blurry photo. There's me. Look, it's little baby Zach and his IBM ThinkPad computer and Monster Cola and a can of SpaghettiOs that he's having for lunch. His lunch is SpaghettiOs. This is 2007. How old was Zach? How old was Zach in 2007? So this is 22-year-old Zach. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I was 21 in this photo. So this 21-year-old Zach. And 21-year-old Zach, his lunch is SpaghettiOs and Monster Cola. That's his lunch. Was this the time you attached a grenade launcher to your rifle? No, that was a different time. That is a really funny photo. Dual wielding M16s. Look, and this was me pretending to be a little green army, or one of the little green army men. The little, because there's like the one that's in this pose. Anyway. I haven't gone through my photos in quite a while. I don't know if I can show this one. Is the monster one with the camo on it? Yeah, it's that one. It's the Monster Assault. That's what I was drinking at the time. That was my drink of choice for quite a while, was Monster Assault. I don't know if I can show this photo. I probably can. No Rip It? Oh, I couldn't do Rip It. I couldn't do Rip Its. Did I ever have the Jolt Cola that came in the battery-shaped can? Oh shit, I might have actually. Chat, do you want to see the photo I took of one of the times I had the weird problem happen with my leg after they did a biopsy on it? It could be considered slight gore. So I don't know. You might not want to see that. Just wanted to say hi from France. Keep doing what you're doing. It makes me feel good while slowly rebuilding my life after 25 years of wrong diagnostic with psychiatric professional. Just learned from 3 years ago that I am autistic. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Ukami. Thank you very much, Ukami. I'm glad that I'm glad that you enjoy watching the videos. I'm sorry that it took so long to get that diagnosis, but might get banned. Yeah. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I probably shouldn't show it. That's fine. It's like there's not actually any blood or anything. It's just like, it's stitches on my leg. So should be fine, maybe. I'm not gonna risk it. Let's see, what other cool photos can I show you? Ooh! I can show you this photo, though. A Luna moth! This was on a field exercise. This thing came up and landed while I was on gate guard. Just like landed right. I was behind this machine gun. Came up and just landed right next to me. Look at that thing. Did he become my best friend? I just kind of hung out with him for a while. Very fuzzy. Where's the lamp, brother? Brother! Do you have the lamp? Brother, I heard that you have a lamp. I must have the lamp, brother. Did I pet him? No, I didn't touch him. I just only took photos of him. I didn't want to hurt the moth because I wasn't really sure what the moth's deal was. So I didn't want to hurt it. Man, oh my god. Okay, I should have just left this open because holy shit. This fucking M2, this M2 has seen some shit. This M2 has absolutely seen some shit. So most of the M2 machine guns at least the ones that we had, did not have a safety on them. There's no safety on most of the M2 machine guns. I mean, technically there is in that you don't chamber around in it. I'll get to this in a second. Don't worry. You just don't chamber around in it. So what you do on most of these machine guns is on the trigger, you depress the bolt catch, and then you jam an empty shell casing underneath the butterfly trigger. Oh, that might have been why the moth showed up, because it heard butterfly trigger and thought that, you know, it could like hang out. Anyway, haha, funny joke. You jam a empty shell casing underneath the butterfly trigger so that you can't depress it. And then basically when you need to fire the machine gun, you just rip the shell casing out and then press the trigger on it. Anyway, this machine gun is, look at this fucking front sight. Look how jacked up this thing is. I mean, that's the purpose of the hood. And basically, like, every machine gun has seen some shit. The fucking rear sight is bent, too. Oh my god. What this thing is this is the blank firing adapter for the M2 machine gun. Basically, this restricts the end of the muzzle to increase back pressure so the gun actually fires. Is that a laser sight? Yeah, this has Miles gear on it. I forget what Miles stands for. Military something laser something system. Basically, every time you fire the gun, or every time it hears a blank go off, it fires the little infrared laser on it, and then everything has infrared laser receivers on it. So, mildly inconvenient laser shooter? No, that's Warhammer you're thinking of. This is I can't remember what Miles gear stands for. Multiple integrated laser engagement system. That's what Miles stands for. Thank you very much. Yeah, multiple integrated laser engagement system. Blank firing gun is just a really fancy and really expensive laser gun for laser tag. Yeah, pretty much. M2 looks in decent shape compared to that mount. I am willing to bet that this M2 was at least 30 years old when this photo was taken. Ooh. Oh, shit! This is, I forgot I had a photo of this too. This is the, what helicopter is that? Hoplite? So at Fort Polk, there are several... Is it the Mi-8? No, it's not the Mi-2. I think it might be the Mi-8. Maybe it is the Mi-2. I can't remember. At Fort Polk, there's several... It's the Mi-8? Okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. But yeah, at Fort Polk, they have several Soviet helicopters. They have an Mi-24 and an Mi-8. And they fly them around and use them for OPFOR. So I actually caught it at one day, flying around. Which is nuts. That's the only photo I got of it, unfortunately. I couldn't get any more. Do I... Let's see. Let's see. Do I have any Hind D pics? No, I never got any photos of the Hind D, unfortunately. Never got any photos of the Hind D. It's a photo of me with an IV in my hand from when I was getting medevac to Germany. I don't know how I had the presence of mind to take that photo. We don't see. I didn't show it to you guys because I anything that could potentially be considered, you know, like against TOS, I'm not going to show you. Okay, I can show you. I mean, I could probably show you this photo. Do you want to see the bed that I was sleeping in for the first like 3 months I was in Iraq? There you go. That was my bed for the first like 3 months in Iraq. You can even see in the photo, how much dip there is to the center of this mattress. It's just like caving in on the center. Woman poster. I had several woman posters. The wall of pinups. I had more. I had even more of them. Like seriously, it went to like here. It was photos of Marissa Miller from like there to there. That's all it was. Can you see the Marlboros? Fuck yeah, you can. Look at this. Look at this shit. Zoom in. Enhance. Enhance. Why won't it enhance? Enhance. You can smell the testosterone and raw power from here. No, you can smell the foot sweat from here. Yeah, I had photos. I straight up had photos going from like here all the way to here of Marissa Miller from Sports Illustrated. Oh shit, you can see the entire room. Hang on. Are you guys ready? Behold the room. This was my room when I was in Iraq. Oh, man. Glad to see that Write in the Rain notebooks were coming back then, too. Hell yeah, they were. Dude, we fucking loved Write in the Rain notebooks. I'm scrolling through a bunch of the photos that I took when I was in Iraq. Lindsay Lohan is greater than Marissa Miller. I had a Lindsay Lohan calendar when I was in fucking 2006. 2006, I think. I had a Lindsay Lohan calendar. And I did a barracks inspection, and my company commander came through my room and he saw the poster, or he saw the calendar. And he was just like, why do you have this? You know you're never going to meet her, right? And I was just like, dude, what the fuck? Why would you say that? I was so personally offended that he would put it that way. Just like, why would you fucking say that, man? Come on, dude. The wanking corner? It absolutely was not the wanking corner. The wanking corner was outside in the bathroom building. I didn't do that in my room. That's fucking gross. Go to the bathroom for that. Hang on. I want to show you this photo, but I need to edit the photo really quick. Because it has my name in it, so I need to edit it so that you can't see it. We're just gonna blur this out really quick. Oh god, why is that such a tiny little drawing tool? Oh wait, don't be stupid, Zach. You can use technology to just draw a specific shape over the thing. Why is the shape not being filled in? Fill in shape. Oh my god. Guys, I'm dumb. There we go. Solid fill. Good enough. Jerking off in a 100-degree porta shitter, that's determination. Hell yes it is. File, save. All right, did it actually save the photo? Yes, it did. Okay, great. Open edit with paint. Cover up my name so that you guys cannot see it. Because I don't want you goofy little bastards knowing what my name is. My name isn't Zach Hazard. It is, actually. No, it's actually Hank Zazzard. I just switched some stuff around. Oh no, I've revealed my name to you. Now you can summon me whenever you wish. Okay, great. I think those... Okay, yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect. Behold how I cooked Pop-Tarts. I'm not even joking. This is how I cooked Pop-Tarts because we didn't have a toaster. I would literally just use welding gloves and cook them with a fucking map torch. Modern problems require modern solutions. This is me cooking a Pop-Tart. You know what's really fucked up about this? What's really fucked up about this? There's a couple things that are really fucked up about this. One. These Pop-Tarts weren't even fucking frosted. They gave us plain Pop-Tarts. Unfrosted Pop-Tarts. I mean, I still ate them because it's a Pop-Tart. But it was just like, bro, we're over here fighting in Iraq and they can't even get us fucking toasted Pop-Tarts. This is bullshit. I hate this. I hate unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tarts. I'm so disappointed. The other thing that's incredibly disappointing or really sad about this image, do you see that yellow water cooler down there? Do you see that yellow water cooler down there? That was the chair to my desk.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Didn't even have a chair for my office. I sat on a yellow water cooler. Thank you so much, Jolly Bones the Skelly, for the 42 months of subscription. Your 42 months of subscription, Jolly Bones the Skelly, go to ensure that I will never have to sit on an inverted water cooler ever again. Anyway, yeah, so cooking Pop-Tarts with a fucking map gas blowtorch. Oh my god. I haven't looked at these photos in so long. All right, this photo isn't a military photo, but it's really funny. This photo is just really funny. I like this photo. I can hear this photo. Okay, anyway. Thank you very much, Dryosynth, for the 500 bits. I really appreciate it. Army only willing to pay for AA 20211 Style A shelf-stable toaster pastries. Oh my god, what's the fucking Paul Harrell bit about the off-brand Pop-Tarts? Oh my god, what is that Paul Harrell bit? I cannot remember now. Toaster pastries? Toaster pastries? Blast it with a 44 Magnum. Accept no substitutes. Toastums, that's what it is. Toastums. Oh my god, the fucking Toastums. Oh, thank you so much, Nina Savant, for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. Toastums? Okay, I gotta find that now. I gotta find that. I'm sorry. Okay, yep, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Ooh, we are at a level 1 hype train. Oh, what do I do if we get to like a level... What if we get to like a level 3 hype train? Then what do we do? What do we do if we get to like a level 3 hype train? I'm not sure. Hang on, I'm gonna show you this video. Anonymous user suggested Pop-Tarts breakfast toaster pastries variety pack 72 count. No, I'm not adding Pop-Tarts to my throne.
However, they are real Pop-Tarts, which brings up something else. Toastums? This is some fake Pop-Tart. It actually reads on the box. Toastums. Play hard. Snack easy. Okay, when it comes to Pop-Tarts...
Oh look, another is subscriber.
Except no substitutes.
Oh my god.
The actually people.
God, I miss Paul Harrell. Oh my god, I miss Paul Harrell. Thank you so much, Creamy K, for the 3 months of subscription. Yes, I know they added that shotgun to... I know they added that shotgun to Black Ops. I'm well aware. Thank you very much. Also, thank you, Squidly Terrence, for the 160 bits. I really appreciate it. What can I show you guys? If we get to a certain hype train. Oh, shit. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're at a level 2 hype train right now. We get to a level 4 hype train. I will, 1, show you... So, kids can send cards to soldiers. I don't know if any of you ever remember doing this. Thank you very much, Olven Hex, for the 192 bits. I don't have enough to do a cool thing. I mean, that was pretty cool. Giving the bits was pretty cool. Replay the Chinook video at full eardrum blasting volume. Maybe. Okay, so, thank you very much, Starlight Raven, for the 500 bits. What's with the list of guns? I have gun disassembly. Ooh.
Hear ye. 5 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you very much, Sir Zith, for the 5 gifted subscriptions.
Wow.
And thank you, Crasher, for the 570 bits. Okay. Oh my god, we got to a level 4 hype train already. Oh my god. Thank you, Face on a Wall, for the 500 bits. Damn, we made it already. You guys, you keep gifting subs, and I haven't even said what we're gonna get to. I gifted subs without realizing I wasn't subbed. Thank you very much, Sir Zip, for this 5 months of subscription.
Subscriber.
And thank you also, Nick, for the 3 months of subscription. After the most recent campfire stories, you got yourself a Jack too. Hell yeah, let's go. All right, I'll tell you what are we at? Level 4? We're at a level 4 hype train. If we get to a level 5 hype train, I will let you guys thank you very much, Creamy K, for the 20 bits. And thank you, Tamio, for the gifted subscription. I really appreciate it. If we get to a level 6 hype train, I will let you guys pick a gun for me to disassemble. And I was going to say, if we got to a level 4 hype train...
Hear ye, hear ye. 5 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you very much, Dial Corthus, for the... Good lord!
Hear ye, hear ye. 20 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you so much, Eric Harmon, for the 20 gifted subscriptions. Oh my god.
El coche más poderoso que ha existido, con tracción 4x4 y 2 turbomotores. Este sí es todoterreno. Las cosas son fáciles. Mete una lodo, parte la nieve, pasa por el...
Thank you very much, Cratcher, for the 444 bits. Y'all won't let him finish the reward sentence. Alright. So, I will show you. Did I pre-record the gifted sub messages? Yeah, that's all pre-recorded. I recorded all those, like, in advance. I just snorted my beer. I fucking love that video. That video is great. That video is amazing. Okay, I will show you guys. One of the things that they would make kids do is like write letters and then send them to soldiers in Iraq. And this is the only... I got maybe 3 or 4 while I was in Iraq. This is the only one that I took a photo of.
Hear ye, hear ye. 5 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you so much, Mono Fuchs, for the 5 gifted subscriptions. You ready? This is the only photo of a card that I got while I was in Iraq that I took a photo, or that I kept. Because I like the implication that we're just shooting at our own. I love how this guy looks. I love this card so much. He's so happy. Thank you. I love this. I love this so much. This guy is great. Oh. Anyway. All right. Eric Harmon, who gifted 20 gifted subscriptions. Oh my god. Thank you very much, Dial Corthus, for the 4,301 bits. Holy shit. Eric, is there a gun that you want me to disassemble? Browning M2? I don't know if the Browning M2 is in this game, but sure, we'll do that one. Also, thank you very much, Benman Vibin, for the 100 bits. Oh shit. Thank you so much, Starlet Raven, for the 1,234 bits. Level 9 hype train. Oh my god. Thank you so much for the 1,234 bits. All right, well we will have to do the M2 machine gun. Are there any other photos that I want to show you guys before I go to disassemble a machine gun? I forgot about this photo. This is an engine that somebody pulled out of a or that we pulled out of a Humvee.
Terrenator, el coche más poderoso que ha existido, con tracción 4x4 y 2 turbomotores. Este sí es todoterreno, las calles son fáciles. Mete una lodo, parte la nieve, pasa por el...
Thank you for the 444 bits. Oh my god, you guys!
Hear ye, 5 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you so much! Dial Corthus for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Oh, for the 8 subs! I'm sorry, for the 8 gifted subscriptions. Holy shit. Thank you so much. This is the shit people do.
Hear ye, 5 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you, Murphy, for the 5 gifted subscriptions, and Dryosynth for 5 gifted subscriptions.
Hear ye, 5 gifted subscriptions.
Have I ever thought of rating viewer guns? That's not a terrible idea. That's not the worst idea ever. Oh. I have a 10.5-inch AR opera question. Would you rather use a Dead Air Sandman or use an XM733 flash hider? I mean, the Sandman is going to actually provide you with better flash and noise suppression, but like the XM733 flash hider is gonna look a lot cooler though, you know. Thank you very much, Murphy, for the 106 bits, and Crasher for the 666 bits, and Eric Harmon for the 90 bits. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, here I'm gonna show you a couple more photos. I want this car. This was just some local's car in Iraq, and I love this car. I like this car so much I took photos of it. That's how much I like this car. What is it? I have no idea what it is. I don't know. It's an old Toyota. I kind of figured it was an old Toyota, but I'm not sure. Thank you very much, Cratcher, for the 222 bits. It is a pleasing shape. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it actually says Corona. It's a Corona. I don't know what the Corona is. Toyota Corona. So yeah, it's an old beat to shit Toyota Corona, and I love it so much. Like, I wanted it to go. I wanted to give the man money for this car and find a way to bring it back into the United States. I loved this car. I love the weird paisley seat covers. It's amazing.
Hear ye, a gifted subscription.
Thank you very much, Squidly Terrence, for the gifted subscription. I appreciate it. A true nugget. It really is. It really... Look, it's missing one of its mirrors. Thank you so much, Nino Savant, for 300 bits. It's missing one of its side mirrors. Yeah, God, I love this car. Such a fucking piece of shit. I wanted... Oh, sorry, Persian rug upholstery. I don't know why I said paisley. I don't know why I said paisley. Level 10 hype train. We actually had a level 10 hype train. Holy shit, we are. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, I gotta reset the sub counter. Yeah, that car... I took photos of a bunch of cars that I really like. Thank you so much, Saber Gunner, for the 100 bits.
gifted subscriptions. Hear ye, a gifted subscription.
We broke it. It is kind of broken. Thank you so much, Starlet Raven, for the 2 gifted subscriptions, and Nina Savant for the 13 months, and Z Stamp for the 185 bits.
Hear ye, a gifted subscription.
Do I have any opinions or experience with the Springfield DS Prodigy? Apparently they're pretty good. Like, it's a really good entry level 2011. So, yeah, apparently they are actually pretty good.
Hear ye, a gifted subscription.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Gail Lapstel. Guys, you're being too generous. You're being too generous.
Hear ye.
And it didn't actually reset the counter.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
I'll tell you what, guys, if you can get all the way to $15,000, I will buy a Fiat Panda 4x4 and make it my daily driver. I will buy a Fiat Panda.
Hear ye, a gifted subscription.
About to be like, seriously, it's kind of insane. Oh, there we go. Now it's reset. All right, I need to get caught up again. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Crasher, for the 222 bits. Thank you to Adravoid for the subscription.
Another subscriber.
And Tim Sharkman for the 1 month of subscription. And Nay Dostra for the 3 months of subscription.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
A new or old Fiat Panda. An old Fiat Panda. An old Fiat Panda. Thank you very much, Ben Man Vibin, for the 100 bits. The Fiat Treasure Panda. Oh my god, that's another reason I have to get one. Holy shit. So I can have the Fiat Treasure Panda. Ooh, okay, I'll tell you what. You guys are being so incredibly generous. You guys are being so incredibly generous. Oh my god.
Hear ye, 20 gifted subscriptions.
We have actually surpassed the all-time hype train record. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Eric Harmon, for 20 more gifted subscriptions. Holy fuck. We're now at a level 12 hype train, which is the new record that has never been passed before. Also, thank you, Dryosin, for the 1,234 bits. I don't know why it didn't show. We're halfway to a level 12 hype train. I gotta make an edit to this photo really quick. But I gotta make an edit to this photo. Give me just a second. Thank you for getting the name right. I really try to. Adravoid. Yeah. I really do try to get people's names right.
Hear ye, 10 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you so much, Shadow Gem, for the 10 gifted subscriptions. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Also, thank you, Westionot, for the 100 bits. You could actually buy that generation Toyota Corona brand new in America. There's not a lot of them left, but you wouldn't have to import one. Seriously? Oh my god. I kind of want to try to find one now. The fucking hype train's high enough, I'll probably be able to get one. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. Because you got into a level 13 hype train, do you want to see the AK that I had in Iraq? Do you want to see the AK I had in Iraq? I know you do. I know you want to. I know you want to see the AK I had in Iraq. Here is how it came to me. Absolutely filled with dirt. Literally the entire desert inside the magazine well. Somehow the chamber is still clean though. Absolutely disgusting. And then I cleaned it up. Honestly, it was just dirty. That's all that was wrong with it. Also, ignore the M249 pistol grip that is bolted to the front of my M4. Ignore that. They took that away from me? Yeah, they did. However, I will say... Whoop! I can't believe you've done this. Oh my god, help, I'm stuck. This is bullshit. So yeah, this AK came to me. I forget what country this is. I think it's Hungarian. I think it's a Hungarian AK. It came to me dirty like this. I cleaned the hell out of this thing, and it honestly was in really good condition. It was in really, really good condition after I cleaned it. The wood wasn't great, but everything else was really good on it. No, that was not my kitty. It's a very
Zach Hazard Christmas. Welcome everyone to a very Zach Hazard Christmas.
Anyway, yeah, this is my M4. This is the AK that I found. What happened to it after? Was it taken to a nice farm where I could run and play with all the other AKs? Yes, that's exactly what happened to it. That's exactly what happened to that AK.
Hear ye, 5 gifted subscriptions.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Eric Harmon, for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Uh-oh. Am I gonna have to plan something for if I get to a level 14 hype train? And you guys only have like 2 minutes left. It's fine, I don't have to worry about it. I definitely don't have to do something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Hungarian AK. Hang on, I can check something really quick. I can check something. Oh my god.
5 gifted subscriptions.
Thank you so much, Nino Savant, for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Buy a Fiat Panda and paint it like Treasure Panda. I don't have enough to buy a Fiat Panda, and my wife is gonna be really mad at me if I come home with a Fiat Panda. She's gonna be like, there's no room in the garage, why did you get a Fiat Panda? And I'm gonna be like, I had to, chat made me do it. Oh yeah, okay, so it is Hungarian. Okay, the reason I know it's Hungarian is because Atlantic Arms is literally selling that exact same.
Hear ye,
Holy fuck!
gifted subscriptions.
Eric, you need groceries. What are you doing? Oh my god. I have a feeling that chat made me do it isn't going to pass muster with Mrs. Hazard. Thank you, Eric Harmon, for 20 more gifted subscriptions. The reason I know that it's a Hungarian AK is because I can store it at your place. Atlantic Firearms is currently selling the exact same one. I need to preface this. Hang on. I can set this up so that I I need to preface this with, I am not showing anyone. There we go. Perfect. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm not selling guns. This is not me selling guns. I'm not doing it. Atlantic Arms currently has the same AK. They have the same AK that I found when I was in Iraq, and I've seriously considered buying it so that I can have the same AK I had when I was in Iraq. Just for giggles. Because that would actually be kind of cool. This dude's bank account be like, God damn, they already had that and they let it pass. Yeah, anyway. We do need to actually, like, we are going to need to actually... Oh my god, we got double Larrys. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to summon Larry twice. What am I even gonna do for Larry? What am I gonna do? Chat, what do you want Larry to do? Larry's gonna have to do something now. What do you want Larry to do? Hang on. I mean, a lot of these things I'm seeing I can't actually have Larry do. Larry could play web fishing. That's true. Larry could play web fishing. Or he could play the Sega bass fishing again. Oh, God. Larry does sing sometimes. He has been known to sing. Have Larry see some more of my posters. Larry will just be like, awooga. That's what he would do. He would just be like, awooga. Okay, what are we gonna do? I don't know if there's any other military photos that I can really show you guys. I feel like I need to use the bathroom. I had cheese with dinner. Which means that, oh no. Why do I have photos of the time I accidentally took my car on donuts through the highway in Arkansas? If I cheer 1, 2, 3, 4 bits, will it do the crewmate thing? If it doesn't do the crewmate thing, I will play it manually. Alright, I'll tell you guys what. I will, when this hype train is over, I will show you these last photos, and I will tell you a brief story. And then I need to use the bathroom. If it is over, oh yeah, if it's over. Oh my god, the hype train has ended at 14%. Or 14%. At level 14. The hype train has ended at level 14. With 134 subs and 12,000 bits. Holy shit. Thank you so much, chat, for being so incredibly generous. I really appreciate it. I need to use the bathroom quite badly, so I'm going to put some music on. And I will be right back. Thank you again so much, chat. You goof, now I gotta buy a Fiat Trash Panda? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. The 15,000 is a lot of money. I love when Zach posts from the toilet. Zach, jump scare! Yeah, what else am I gonna do? I'm not just gonna doom scroll memes while I'm sitting on the toilet. I have to make sure that you guys aren't starting another hype train. I have to make sure you're not starting another hype train. Ooh, okay, so I can show you two things. We're back. I can show you two things because you guys, like, absolutely annihilated the hype train. You absolutely annihilated it. So I will show you two separate things. Can I make a playlist of music on your channel? I will try to put that out on my VOD channel. Yeah, I'll try to actually make a playlist of all of the songs that I've been using for my stream start, or that I use during the stream, and I'll try to make sure that goes out on my VOD channel. So keep an eye on there. I will try to make sure that that happens for you guys. So two different things. One, I will show you these photos, and then it will be brief story time. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? So this is the Ford Focus that I had that the dealership tried to screw me over, right? This is the Ford Focus I had. You'll notice that it's covered in grass, and also it's raining really heavily in these photos. This was the Ford Focus. I was driving from where my home was back to Fort Polk at one point. You know, oh, I should have left the music on. Hang on. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's fine. So I was driving from my home state back to Fort Polk, and I was driving through... What state was it? I want to say it was Arkansas. And at the time, the state of Arkansas had never heard of crowning the roads, which is where the road has a very slight... It tapers up. Hocus Pocus, there's pizza on your Focus. Thank you very much, Thanos, for the 50 bits. I really appreciate that. Crowning the road is where the road tapers up from left to right to a high point in the center of the road, so water runs off the roads. I was driving on the highway, and it was raining really heavily. And my car would occasionally go like, and just like skip off of, like start hydroplaning. And at one point, it hydroplaned and sailed off of the road into the median in between the right and left hand, or the right and left side of the highway. Just sailed off into the median while I'm driving it. And I remember being on the road, and then I remember floating and now in the median doing donuts through the median of the highway. And I had missed hitting a bridge, and there was a semi-truck that was next to me while I was on the highway. So I'd missed both of those things by, you know, like inches. And I ended up finally coming to a stop with the back end of my car sitting in the opposing lane of traffic. So yeah, I had to, I just remember spinning and watching huge chunks of grass go flying over the hood of the car. Which is why there's a bunch of grass and debris inside the wheel in this photo. Yeah, lots of fun. Super fun. Super fun. I enjoyed it so much. It was great. Pretty sure that's a pre-facelift Focus sedan, probably ZX4 trim level. I think so. I don't remember what year this Focus was. I don't know, actually. I kind of missed that car. I liked the Focus. I thought it was a neat little car. And then I sold the Focus and got this. That's my BMW. That's the BMW that tried to kill me several times. That's my 1983 BMW 320 IS for the sport model. Hang on, I need to check something really quick before I just go scrolling through all these photos showing you guys everything. Do I have any other photos of the BMW? I should. I should have more photos of it. I should have more photos of it. Hang on. What would it be under in here? Is that the car that I had to give to a suck job to every morning? Yes, it is that car. That is the car. To explain very briefly, there was a leak in the transmission for the clutch, so I had to run a bit of IV tubing down through the reservoir into the where the transmission was and suck all of the air out of it. And that was how I did that to get the car started every morning. I know I have more photos. Hang on. I know I have more photos of my BMW. I want to show you guys at least a couple more photos of it. And then we will do stuff. I have a lot of photos from that time, so it's just taking me a second to find them. Oh, there's a couple more. Oh, no, I can't show you those photos. I'm sorry. I want to, but I don't think I can. Boo. The Zach Hazard try not to dox himself challenge. Level impossible. All right. Anyway, what we're going to do now is, because you guys got to a excuse me. Because you guys got to such a level, or because you guys got to a level 14 hype train, we are going to disassemble the M2. Well, I guess we'll start with field strip and then we'll move on to disassembly from there. Look, it's the M2! I've worked on these things before. So, yep, we're going to start by removing the machine gun from the pintle mount. Do I have to disassemble the pintle as well? I hope not. But if you do, whatever. So, okay, what you have to do next for field strip of an M2 machine gun is you pull back the charging handle slightly until... Let me see, where is it? I want to say it's on this side. You're going to pull it back until you can see a little tiny notch in this window. Once you can see that notch in the window, then you can start backing the barrel off. I'm pretty sure it's that window. So yeah, that's what we'll do. It makes a weird noise, but okay. It doesn't normally make that noise. So then you're going to remove the back plate. Make sure that the bolt is not to the rear. You want the bolt to be all the way forward. If the bolt is to the rear, push on this one, the one in the middle, not the side ones. You'll push in the one in the middle. And then the bolt will go forward. Once the bolt is all the way forward, then what you're going to do is pull out. It's hard to see because it's flashing. It's trying to tell me to do it. You're going to pull out on this tab, lift up on this tab, and the back plate is going to come off of the 50. Now what you're going to do is push in on the recoil spring just slightly, move it to the left of the receiver, and then it will slide out through the back of the machine gun. Just like that. So next step, open the feed tray cover by twisting the lever, lifting the feed tray cover up. I wouldn't take the feed tray cover off as part of disassembly, but I mean, you do you, I guess. Usually this is, yeah, they even have it on there. That's kind of weird. In this, see, there's a cotter pin right here, because there's a cotter pin holding the feed tray cover in. I don't recommend removing the feed tray cover as part of field stripping, just because, yeah, you're probably going to lose this this detent and spring. But whatever, I guess. You're going to move the bolt halfway back to this notch right here, and then you will remove the quote-unquote Jesus pin, which is this pin right here. The reason it's called the Jesus pin is because when it gets lost and you put the machine gun back together, and then you go to load the machine gun because the enemy is charging you, it doesn't work anymore, and you start yelling, "Oh, Jesus!" Now what you're going to do is remove the buffer and barrel extension, which just come out through the back of the gun. I believe, if I recall correctly, there's this hole right here. You have to push in on a spring, which is this one. You have to push in on that spring in order to remove the buffer and barrel extension. Then what you're going to do is you're going to push down on what I like to call the dolphin block, even though it doesn't look anything like a dolphin. It looks kind of like a little fin. I guess that's why I call it the dolphin block. You push down on this block right here, barrel extension comes off through the front. Just like that. Oh, okay, so we are doing bolt disassembly as part of field stripping. Okay. Okay, so for bolt disassembly, when you disassemble the bolt on an M2, this piece right here with this little wedge on it, this is the sear. Do not press down on this. If you do press down on this, make sure that this lever is all the way back here, because if you press down on it and the lever is not all the way back there, it's going to snap backwards and hit you in the thumb, and it's going to hurt like a motherfucker. So, anyway, to disassemble the bolt on the M2, it's odd that they're not starting with the extractor, but I mean, I guess you can start wherever you want. I usually start with the extractor, in which case you lift the extractor up, and then it pulls out this way out of the bolt, and then you can take the railroad track part off. But I guess we're going to start with the cocking lever. So pull out that pin, cocking lever comes out. We're not doing any more disassembly of the bolt. We're not doing any more disassembly of the bolt, you guys. That's it. That's all the disassembly of the bolt you get. Another kind of Garand thumbing. It's Browning thumb. When they say, oh no, he got Browning thumb, and you have to wonder which Browning he was talking about. All right, so we're going to put that back on there. I usually push those all the way together when I go to reassemble this, but that's just kind of to hold everything together. So I usually push those all the way together. And generally, when I would assemble this, I would put the bolt into the barrel extension. I wish I could pull that back out so I could show you guys, but whatever. I usually put the bolt all the way into the barrel extension, and then I install everything. If only because it's kind of a pain in the ass to feed the bolt into the machine gun like this. Because you can see, so there's tracks on the bolt. Let me get you a better angle. You can see there's a track right there. There's a track right there. Those two tracks go into this notch and this notch on the barrel extension. So I usually put the bolt into that first, and then install the barrel extension, buffer assembly, and bolt assembly all at once. Because like I was saying, it's kind of a pain in the ass to shove this thing in here when now you have to overcome all the spring tension of the like the sear and the timing lever and all that shit. But I guess that's how we're doing that here. Put the Jesus pin in, feed the bolt all the way forward. I guess we'll reinstall the top cover. Nope, we won't reinstall the top cover. We'll reinstall the recoil spring. Recoil spring. Do not pull the bolt back while the rear cover is not on there, because otherwise you risk the potential of launching the spring out the back of the gun with enough force to embed it into your sternum. Now we put the back cover on. Then we'll put the top cover on. Cool. We'll put the barrel back in. So what you're going to do is you put the barrel into the receiver, and then you pull back on the charging handle just a little bit until, again, you can see the little square inside this hole right there. And then you rotate the barrel until it goes completely tight. You can't rotate it anymore. And then you back it off 3 clicks. So you go 1, 2, 3. Click, click, click. And then now we just put the 50 cal back into the pintle mount. Ta-da! Let's just, for giggles, let's just do operation really quick. Next thing you do is put a lime in the coconut. Put a lime in the coconut. Okay, so what I was saying.
Someone is reading you. I think I'll just go and arm the turrets and neurotoxin.
Thank you so much for the raid. Pause. Welcome, raiders. Greetings and welcome to the stream. Hello. Welcome, raiders. Hello. Thank you very much for the raid. Pause. Escape from the dungeon. Now leading the wolf pack raid. Ooh. Hope we have snacks. I don't have snacks. All I have is this M2 machine gun. You stole my wallet. Oh, man. Now how am I supposed to buy a Fiat Panda 4x4? Welcome, raiders. Hello. Hello. Thank you very much for the raid. What were you guys doing? Were you guys having fun? What were you getting up to? We don't have snacks, but we do have free milk crate emotes. We do have free milk crate emotes. Okay, so what I was saying about the M2 machine gun was unwinding with some Path of Exile 2, killing hordes of creatures for their loot. Hell yeah! Being a loot goblin is great. Sometimes it's a little problematic, like you're trying to actually complete stuff, but you gotta keep being a loot goblin. I understand. I know. I get it. It just got, yeah, you just gotta, sometimes you just have to hoard all the loot you find. Yeah, well, welcome to the stream. We got a huge hype train earlier, so as one of the requirements of the hype train was I must now disassemble the M2 machine gun, which I have done many times. Many times. In real life. Not in game. Actually, this is the first time I've done it in game. So but I just kind of wanted to go over Operation really quick because it's fun. Not the board game, the operation of the M2 50 cal. But I'm glad that you guys had a great stream. I'm glad that you were having fun. If you have not seen or heard of me before, my name is Zach Hazard. I talk about guns on the internet, probably too much. Entirely too much. I am a variety streamer, and I stream all kinds of games, mainly just kind of whatever the hell I feel like streaming that day. So, welcome. I hope you guys will stick around, and I hope you'll enjoy. I'm also a U.S. Army veteran, which is why I disassembled this gun in real life. Okay, so on the M2 machine gun, like I was saying, there isn't actually at least the ones I'm familiar with. I believe there's a newer version that has fixed headspace and timing, and I think actually has a safety lever on it. The original ones did not have a safety lever. The way it's on safe is basically the bolt is all the way forward and there isn't a round chambered. That's how it's on safe. So what we would do is right now it is in what is called single fire mode. Bleh. Right now it is in single fire mode. So if you were to fire it, it fires once. That's it. And then you have to press this button to get the bolt to go forward. In fact, I wonder if I put it on slow motion, if it'll fire and the bolt will lock to the rear. Yep, so the bolt locks to the rear because it's on single fire mode. Then what happens is you have to depress this lever, which allows the bolt to go forwards. See? Link comes out. All right, anyway. So what we would do, because we didn't have a like safety lever on the M2 to ensure that you didn't just like accidentally bump into the trigger and it goes off, what we would do is you would put it on auto, which is where you push down on this lever and then rotate this collar, which holds the lever in place. Then we would take an empty M2 shell casing and jam it in here. So that now there's literally, it just blocks the trigger. There's no way to fire it now. And then yeah, if you had to fire the M2 machine gun, you would just grab that that shell casing, rip it out of the back of it, and then now you can press down the trigger. Some people, some enterprising individuals, would go so far as to take an M2 shell casing, drill a hole through it, run paracord through the M2 shell casing and tie the paracord off to one of the spade grips. So that way you could just rip it out of there, and then shove it back in there when you want to put it back in there, so you don't have to, go digging around for another shell casing. That sounds incredibly jank. Yeah, but it works though. It's a lot cheaper than doing an MWO and upgrading literally every single M2 machine gun in the US military inventory to just shove a shell casing in there. I forgot to mention MWO. MWO stands for Modification Work Order. That's what MWO stands for. Let's do 2 times slow mode. The M2 machine gun is what is called short recoil operated. So there's 2 different types. There's several different types of recoil operation. Thank you very much, Sharpiel. Spariel. Thank you very much, Spariel, for the 30 bits. When I tell the US military runs on jank and spite, yeah, it does. There's a reason that the phrase, if it's stupid but it works, it isn't stupid, is a military phrase. This is true. If it's stupid but it works, it isn't stupid. Anyway. What was I just saying? Do 10 times slow mode. I do really like the M2 machine gun. Working on the M2 machine gun is like working with a Duplo block set. Oh, I was talking about recoil operation. So this is what's called short recoil operation. There's short recoil and long recoil. I'm going to put it in even slower mode. Short recoil is the barrel is going to move a little tiny bit back. The bolt is going to move the rest of the way back to eject the shell casing and then move forward, pick up a new shell casing and chamber it. Long recoil operation is like what the Browning A5 shotgun uses, where the entire barrel moves all the way back to the rear of the receiver. The bolt stays in the back, the barrel moves all the way back forward, and then the bolt comes forward and picks up the next round. It's really interesting. But yeah, you'll notice that when this gun fires, the bolt moves backwards just slightly. Sorry, the barrel moves backwards just slightly. And then the bolt moves forward. So we're going to do X-ray. Man, you can't really... It's hard to tell. Oh, wait. There's cutaway mode. I forgot. Where's cutaway? There we go. That's... I mean, is this giving you a decent idea of what's going on here? Not terrible. You can see the bolt. You can see the barrel here. Bolt. So the extractor is actually pretty... Ooh, that's kind of jank, the way that worked. Direct blowback, no gas system. Yep. The M2 machine gun has no gas system whatsoever. It is operating entirely off of the recoil of the shell casing firing. That's kind of jank. I wish I could make it even slower. So when this gun fires, it's gonna cycle again. This shell casing is normally riding in a track on the bolt. It doesn't move forwards and backwards like it did there. Watch this one right here. See how it moves forwards? It doesn't normally do that. Normally it sits inside a track. Here, I wonder if I can get this better. Direct blowback wouldn't have the barrel move. I mean, it's not direct blow. It's operating off of recoil. It's, you know, technically speaking, every form of a gun cycling is like blowback. It's just where is the gas going? It's anyway. So yeah, you can see that track right there on the bolt. Normally, the shell casing just rides inside that track the entire time. This is a little jank, the way it's doing that. It's like it doesn't matter. It's not a perfect simulation, so it doesn't matter. I love how all of these different systems work together for this gun to fire. The purpose of this thing up here, I wish I could just like have it continue firing and then still motion with the mouse. The purpose of this thing up here is this is getting actuated by a track path on the bolt, which is actuating this that has a little tiny spring arm in it. Can I make this work? How does the recoil feel when you fire that M2? It's really not bad. It's more noise than anything else because of the mount. Because the mount the machine gun is in, you can kind of feel it wiggling and like vibrating a little bit, but it doesn't, it's just more noise than anything else. Can we... that might be as close as we'll be able to get and still be able to see what's going on. So you can see there's a little tiny spring in here that is snapping onto the next round, and then when the bolt moves forwards, it pushes this sideways, which feeds the next round over. Click. Do small arms repairmen, or do small arms repair positions train cross-service, or did I only ever touch U.S. Army equipment? I really only ever touched U.S. Army equipment, but the Army and the Marines both train at the same school. I believe the Marines MOS is 2111. I can't remember what the Marines MOS is. The Army's is 91 Fox. They both train at the same school until they get to a certain point in the training, and then the Marines go do their own job training so they can learn how to fix the SMA, the 6-shot grenade launcher, the Mark 14 EBRs, they get a M27 IARs. They get to learn how to fix all that crap, which I was always super jealous of. 1911s, because they still have M45s. MOS is 2111. Okay. What parts fail on the M2? It varies. It does vary. The parts that, okay, so some of the parts that I would see missing the most are this piece, which is the cartridge stop, or one of the cartridge stops. There's another one over here. One of the cool things about the M2 is you can set it up for right or left-hand feed. And you can do it pretty fast. So, cartridge stop is one of the things that usually goes missing. This cartridge stop goes missing. There's a thing down here at the base of it that's called the H block. That has a tendency to get worn out pretty regularly. Triggers get broken a lot. Front sights get broken. Rear sights get broken because people drop it and it lands on that. Sometimes I saw barrel extensions get cracked, but you had to drop it from pretty far for that. The thing that I always hated repairing, that needed repairing more often than not, was the entire, like, charging handle assembly. That would get broken. And because there's a coiled up spring that's right here. Replacing that spring is such a bastard. I hate it. I hated replacing that spring. Because you had to, like, install the handle on there and then spin the handle like 360 degrees to put tension on the spring. It sucks. I hated doing it. Neat. Here, we're going to put it on normal and fire it until empty. Click. Interestingly, I think the army actually changed. Yeah. So, the army changed how they want you to load the M2 since I was in. When I was in the army, the way we loaded the M2, I'm going to unload it. Oh. I can't, like, unload it. I can only unload that cartridge. When I was in the army, the way we loaded the M2 machine gun was you would open the feed tray cover like this, install an ammo can. Yep, that's how we would load it while I was in the army. But the way it just did it a second ago was the other way of doing it, where you keep the feed tray cover closed, feed the rounds over, and then charge the weapon twice. Which is weird that they, like, completely changed that. I feel like the reason they changed that is because too many people were lifting up the extractor to reload the machine gun, like right there, and then not putting the extractor back down and slamming the feed tray cover down, which was breaking the extractor. So I feel like the army tried to simplify it to basically be like, no, you don't have to open the feed tray cover anymore. Just make sure you charge it twice, because otherwise it's not actually going to be loaded. The reason you have to charge it twice, I gotta fire it until it's completely empty. It's gonna take a second. Okay, so the reason you have to charge it twice when it's completely empty is because when you feed it without opening the feed tray cover, maybe if I do cutaway. Yeah, that should work. When you put the rounds in there without opening the feed tray cover, the first round is sitting not in front of the bolt. So you have to charge it twice to get it to advance the rounds over once and then get around onto the face of the bolt. They had taught us that feeding method, but basically they were just like, yeah, if you have to reload the machine gun, open the feed tray cover, lift up the extractor, put the rounds in there, put the extractor down on top of it, close the feed tray cover, and then charge the weapon. Because then you only have to charge it once. So. Plastic parts! Look, it's a Nerf M2! Oh, look how cute it looks. Not gonna lie, I would actually probably I would go pretty crazy. I would go pretty crazy for like a 3D printed 1/1 scale replica of an M2. That would be cool as hell. I wonder if you do active parts and then slow, if it shows like what parts are currently doing the thing. Yes, it does, I think. That's kind of neat. What's the point of that? Yeah, it's got a stand now. Uh-huh. Okay. Long range mode! Great. Alright, do we do, like, full disassembly now? I think we do full disassembly now, unless you guys want to see a different gun. Alright, we'll do full disassembly now. Okay, so remove it from the mount. Oh man, do they actually want me to disassemble? Okay, we're not gonna disassemble the pintle mount now because that's boring and I don't care. We're gonna disassemble the machine gun. We want to disassemble the machine gun because disassembling the pintle mount is incredibly boring. Alright, so we're gonna take the back plate off. We're gonna field strip it first. Again, the top cover is not part of field stripping, but okay. What's the approximate range of an M2? How far did Carlos Hathcock shoot a dude with an M2 from? Like over a mile? It's like legitimately the range of an M2 is how good are your optics? Like not even joking. So yeah, you can hit something from a mile away with an M2. There are other cartridges that are going to be more accurate at that distance, but 50 BMG, yeah. I mean, this barrel is, God, how long is the barrel on an M2? I can't remember how long the barrel is on an M2. If you swap out a hot barrel, do you need to redo the head spacing? Technically, yes. But doing the head spacing on an M2 is very fast. So, and now the new M2s have fixed head space, so you don't even need to worry about that anymore. All right, so we have completely field stripped the M2 machine gun. This is one of the parts that has a tendency to get worn out on the M2. I like to call it the H block. I can't remember what its actual name is, but I always called it the H block. This thing has a tendency to get worn out, and there's a little tiny shim that for some reason is not actually in there. There's a little shim that goes in there that separates the distance between this and the base of the machine gun. And you have to make sure it's the right distance. You got to use feeler gauges. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we'll start with the bolt. So we're going to lift up on the extractor. Extractor then comes out that way. We'll take the little train track part out. The reason it's got a cross in this is because that's how you set it up for right or left-hand feed. Next, we will remove the pin on the extractor. Generally, if the extractor broke on your M2, I would just get you a new extractor. I wouldn't bother replacing the little extractor hook. I would just get a new extractor because, like, Less time consuming. The extractor can get broken just from like extensive use, or someone left the extractor up and then slammed the feed tray cover down. Okay, so next step after you remove this is you will push down on the sear on the bolt. And then that slides out through the back. Sear comes out through the top. Spring is right there. Then what you do is you use the cocking lever to actually hook onto this little half circle cutout there and pry the... I can't remember the name of this part. I'm sorry. I don't remember the name of this part right here. But it's a retaining clip for the firing pin retaining pin. So I guess it's the firing pin retaining pin clip. Firing pin retaining clip. It says what it does. So anyway, you use the little flat part of the cocking lever to hook on that and push it out. Comes out like that. Firing pin retaining pin comes out. Firing pin then comes out through the back. You take the firing pin off the top of the bolt. I don't know if the ones I worked on had this little retaining pin in them. I think it may have just come apart on its own, but there is a spring in there. And then the spring comes out through the front. And then that should be it for bolt disassembly. So I guess we'll move on to the back plate. And then I like to start with the latch on the back plate. So that pin comes out, spring comes out through there. This one, there's usually like a little cotter pin or a roll pin on this. So you take the cotter pin out, that pin comes out through the top. There is a little spring under it, that spring comes out. And then we'll move on to this, the trigger pins. So there's another pin right here. That pin is just going to come out through the side. You do want to make sure that you are maintaining some level of pressure on both of these levers when you take the pin out. Do you guys still say Mike for millimeters? I'm sure they do. I never said that because I just said I thought saying Mike was stupid. But that's because I'm weird and autistic. So when people would say Mike, I would like roll my eyes and go, ugh. Don't be like me. It's like it really doesn't take any much. It doesn't take any longer to say millimeter over Mike. Anyway. So yeah, you want to make sure you maintain some level of pressure on it because otherwise these little springs will go and launch out of there and then you'll never see them again. So pin comes out, springs come out, the trigger comes out, and then the bolt release comes out. Then you can theoretically disassemble the spade grips, which again, like you don't have to, but we're going to because it's part of disassembly. So why not? I saw all kinds of different spade grips while I was in the military. I saw ones that were made of wood. I saw ones that were made of plastic. I even saw some ones that were made of Bakelite, which is nuts. Now, removing the collar around this is pretty easy. Collar just slides off. You can rotate it to a certain point. You'll notice that there is actually a spot where there would be a detent, and the detent is just this little tab that sticks on there. If this gets worn out, you just replace the whole thing. Nobody's re-riveting this shit. Inside this, there's a bunch of little fibrous washers that are part of an additional buffer system, and here is the back of the buffer. So what you do on this is this gets unscrewed. All the buffers come out through the back. Just a bunch of little fibrous buffers. And then you can, again, you can remove these screws, or most of the time they're rivets now. You can remove these rivets, and then the top handle comes off, and the bottom handle comes off. Most people are never going to remove those rivets because that's a pain in the ass and nobody knows how to re-rivet things in the army because that's 1920s technology and why would you use that? He said, looking at the machine gun that is from the 1920s. Okay, so why don't we move on to the top cover? We will disassemble the top cover. I kind of wish that everything wasn't... Oh, hey, there we go. Now everything's not flashing. That looks so much better. That doesn't burn my eyes anymore. Okay, so... disassembling the top cover. there is supposed to be a cotter pin that is right here. Not a cotter pin, a spring pin. You remove the spring pin from the top of it. I wonder if this is a previous version of the M2. You remove the spring pin from the top of it. Push this lever over slightly until the lever gets into this gap, and then lift it off the top. Boop, comes right off. Again, you will want to be careful because there is a spring and detent that is in there. And if you are not careful, it will go pew and launch out of there. And then again, you will never see it again. Technically speaking, I don't think it actually needs that spring and detent to function. It just keeps it from beating the shit out of itself. Oh yeah, this is definitely an older version because that's normally like riveted in there or just made as part of it. Okay, so next, I guess we can move on to removing this part or removing like the cartridge feed pawl, which just slides out. And then there's a pin here. You just apply a little bit of tension to that, push the pin out. That comes off. And then that's pretty much disassembled. These things break pretty regularly, but they're also easy to replace, so whatever. That's one of the things I love about the M2 is that most of the stuff that does break regularly is super fast and easy to replace. I like to joke that working on the M2 is kind of like building with Duplo blocks. It's just all big chunky pieces. To remove this, there is a cotter pin right here. You undo the cotter pin, comes out through that. This comes out through the side, and then there's the latch, which is in there. And there's a little like leaf spring right here, which just comes off. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, that is it for the top cover. I mean, I guess we can remove the front sight, even though you don't need to, but we're going to. So to remove, the reason this cartridge stop goes missing all the time is because this pin, the only thing keeping it in place is if the end of this is split or if there's a cotter pin in it. And a lot of times there isn't. So this goes missing, and then that thing goes and falls out of the side of it, especially if you are in training, because if you're in training, in order to convert this to blank firing use, you have to remove this and put a different cartridge stop in there. And people remove it and then forget where they put the original cartridge stop, and then they come to me and say, I don't know where my cartridge stop is. Which is why usually when I would go to the field and we were doing like training exercises with blank firing guns, I would just carry 10 or 11 of these things around with me. I would just carry a bunch of these things around with me because they would go missing all the time. I also would carry like 2 headspace and timing gauges, and one of them would invariably go missing. So next you're going to remove this part of the feed pawl. Again, super simple. You pull this pin out. Keep this under spring tension because there are 2 springs under it. And if you don't, it's going to go doink and launch off of there. You'll never see it again. Barrel extension, the game is going to tell me to remove it. I never remove the barrel extension. There's really no reason to unless it's broken. I don't even want to remove this thing in game. Like, I hate removing this part. We'll remove the rear sight. Rear sight is just 3 screws, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. But because disassembly is literally you have to disassemble everything, we'll disassemble the rear sight too. The rear sight is adjustable for both windage and elevation. Front sight does not move. Just is. The front sight simply is. Oh, we completely forgot to remove the trigger lever. So what you do is you pull this little hinge of the pin out, you rotate it slightly, and then pull the pin all the way out. Just like that. And then this thing comes out. Back here is the timing knob. Again, you don't want to remove this. You don't need to remove this most of the time. This is what you use to adjust the timing on the machine gun. And somebody at some point told the infantry that this makes the gun fire faster. So somebody, this happens quite a bit, you get a grunt that goes, it makes it fire faster, so they crank it all the way in one direction. They crank it all the way in one direction until the machine gun fires as fast as humanly possible, which then breaks the machine gun. Because basically it means that this thing goes missing. Because when you loosen it, I believe, if I remember correctly, loosening it is what makes the machine gun fire faster. So they just loosen it to the point that it is on the verge of becoming a runaway gun. And then inevitably it becomes a runaway gun, and now you have an M2 machine gun that will not stop firing, which is very scary. With like a 240 or a 240 Bravo, you can grab the belt and twist it so that it stops feeding. Or, well, it runs... When you grab a 240 or 240 Bravo belt... Sorry. When you grab a 249 or 240 Bravo belt and twist it, it breaks the belt in half. So it no longer has ammo to feed from once it gets to where you broke it at. You can't do that with the M2, so you kind of just have to hold on to it and hope that it doesn't fall off the pintle mount. Anyway. So yeah, to undo this, you're just going to undo the screw. It has a little spring that's under it. Spring comes off. Now is more disassembly that you generally won't get into. You need specific tools to remove and install the bolt latch. I hated working on this part of the M2. It kind of sucks. Again, you need very specific tools to do it. And it sucks when you have to work on that part of the machine gun. I don't particularly enjoy it. Remove the extractor switch. Again, this is another part that you're not really going to normally remove. And now we will go about removing the charging handle. Yeah, there's that little spring. I don't like futzing with this. It's not super fun. Comes apart pretty easy, though. I don't think there's anything else internally we have to do on the M2 machine gun. I think that's pretty much it. So... Oh, wait, we gotta remove this. Great. Oh, wow, we never took the barrel extension apart. I normally would never remove that. I would just get you a new barrel extension. So there is... Oh, wait, what? I'm sorry. This is the H block. Why was I saying this was? My apologies. It's been probably damn near 10 years since I've worked this, or since I've like done this much disassembly on an M2, so I accidentally called the thing the wrong part. But this is the breech lock, or as I like to call it, the H block, because it has a vaguely H shape. This is one of the parts that can go bad. And usually, when this starts going bad, hear me out, but an M2, but it fires 8 gauge. I'm not sure what the point of that would be. You could do it. I don't know what the point would be. I don't know if anybody's ever made a pedestal mounted shotgun. I'm sure. No, never mind. I take that back. Yes, they have. They're called kiln shotguns or industrial shotguns. Those are actually a thing. Industrial shotguns are a thing. Anyway, when this part starts going bad, it starts shaving pieces of metal off of it on the inside of the gun, which is why I did occasionally the weird thing of running my finger along the inside of the machine gun or the base of the machine gun and then tasting the oil to see if I could taste metal shavings in it. Because then that meant the thing was like fucked up. Okay, anyway. Also, thank you very much, Thanos, for the bits. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So now we're gonna remove the barrel spring, barrel lock. But has it literally just set it at the bottom of the screen the entire time? Barrel locking spring. Those things break pretty regularly. I once replaced one of those. I once replaced one of these barrel locking springs. What you're supposed to use to replace those is there is a little tiny hole that's in them generally. So you put that in there, and then you tap it into place with a hammer and a punch. And then what you have to do is you have to use a staking tool to stake the sides of it to make sure that this doesn't try to escape again. You are supposed to use a hammer and a punch to replace that. I once, at a field exercise, had the part, did not have the tools. I don't remember why I didn't have the tools. So I replaced one of these with a rock and a stick. I'm not joking. I used a stick and a large rock to tap the broken one out of the gun. And then I just used the rock to tap the new one into the gun. Did it function? Yeah. Like I said earlier, if it's stupid but it works, it isn't stupid. And that was very stupid. But it worked, so it wasn't stupid. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the buffer... The spring lock. We're going to remove the spring lock. Now what we're going to do is remove the buffer assembly from the back of the M2. And it's just going to auto-disassemble the rest of the buffer assembly. Good job, game. Okay. And then we'll remove the accelerator from the buffer assembly. Yeah, you don't take these off normally. Again, that's just another part that you just replace if it goes bad. There's really no reason to disassemble it. Just replace the whole thing. That's one of those throw the baby out with the bathwater instances. You don't need it. Oh, we'll remove the flash hider from the front. And remove the barrel carrying tool. Great. And then I guess now we'll take apart the pedestal. We'll remove this pin. We'll take the traversing and elevation mechanism off. Will we? Will we take the T&E mechanism off? No, we will not. Now we will take the T&E mechanism off. I think it's kind of bullcrap that I have you disassembling the tribe or like the pedestal mount, but like whatever. I would rather just work on the machine gun. So I know that the sights are zeroable on the M2, but this is actually how you zero an M2. Like, get really good with using traverse and elevation mechanism on an M2, and you will be able to hit stuff from a very long distance. All right. I do think that's pretty much it for that. How do I like the model accuracy in this game? It's actually pretty good. There are some models in this game that are better or worse than other ones. Like the one of the P90 looks kind of early 2000s. I know I said that like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just the model doesn't look amazing. Some of the models look a lot better than some of the other ones. But yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely better than Gunsmith Simulator. I'm sorry I'm not talking a lot while I'm disassembling the pintle or the like the pedestal mount. It's just kind of boring. It is kind of cool that it has like a whole buffer system built into the mount itself, which is neat. But like it's boring working on this part. I wish this wasn't part of the disassembly of the M2. Mm. We need to get done with disassembling this thing. Come on. God, take forever. I know inevitably I'm going to be missing something. And I'm going to feel very foolish when I discover what it is. Alright, what am I missing? Oh god, we're still missing stuff on this stupid... Okay. What else am I missing? Oh, this... Oy! Duh! How many more parts am I going to be missing on this thing? Now disassemble the ammo can. Right? It might as well be telling me to. Oh! There's still stuff on the feed tray that we missed? What the? Okay. Alright, game. Fine. I see how it is. Oh, we missed part of the cartridge stop. Now I feel... See? I told you guys. I told you guys I was going to realize there was stuff I was missing, and then I would feel foolish. And now I feel foolish. Alright. Now what are we missing? Oh, the plates on the front... Plates on the front. We were missing that. Okay. What? Oh, God, the charging handle. Do you want me to disassemble the charging handle too? Now, see, why do you want me to take apart other things but not the charging handle? Because this is technically several pieces. It is several pieces. Like I said earlier, though, normally you're not going to replace those pieces. You're just going to replace the charging handle. The interesting thing about this game is that it's insisting that you disassemble everything. When, like I was saying before, in actuality, you're really only going to disassemble the things that you need to fix. I don't know what I'm missing now. I can't see it. Oh, there it is. The elevating screw on the traverse and elevation mechanism. I think. Is it easier to keep track of this task IRL? Kinda. It's nice having actual tactile feedback on stuff. But yeah, there you go. We have completely disassembled the M2 machine gun.